Chatters, chatties, welcome home for a Great American Chat, a podcast where we chat about great American media. I'm Chad Maurice, and in the house today, I have one of the stars of A Christmas Present. Please welcome Claire Capek. Claire,
Hi.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Now,
And
gotta
fun.
ask, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I set the table. I did the dishes. I made the food. Just kidding. I did set the table though. I do it every year, and it's my creative life comes out, and it's fun. But it was good. My mom makes the
Now,
best turkey ever. So,
now, do you have a big family or small?
I have a pretty big family. It's not huge, but we only have one side of the family come over because the rest of our family's up north in Iowa, Chicago, and Illinois. So we only have my mom's side of the family come over, and we all have dinner here. But it's only two
Oh.
people.
Okay. Now, before we talk about the movie that you're in with Candace, Bure, and Marc Blucas, I want to
Yes.
talk a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I am born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Specifically from Flower Mound area, Louisville, and now I'm in Highland Village. So, yeah,
Okay,
Dallas,
so
Texas
you're
all the way.
Texas born and raised?
Yep.
Okay. Now, how did you get into acting?
Well, I got signed with the Kim Dawson agency when I was about 6 years old. And that's another story. But I got signed with them, and my agent at the time, Deanne Vernon, she was like, you should totally get into acting. We have a talent side and we have a modeling side. So when I was 6 years old, they wanted me to, get into the talent side so they could start booking me for auditions because, kids' looks are short, they don't last forever.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it was Catherine Sullivan's Acting for Film, the studio that she suggested me to go to. And I did. I went, I fell in love with it, and I have been there ever since I was 6, and I have been teaching there during classes. I teach classes of my own since I was
Oh,
9 years old. So I've been teaching
wow.
since I was 9 and taking since I was 6, and I still do. So
Wow. Now, did you start off as a model?
yeah, I did. I got scouted or spotted by Kim Dawson with Deanne and Matt, and they liked my look. And a few months later, I was signed with them and on the cover
Ah.
of Child's magazine. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Now, was this
congrats.
something that you wanted to do? Like, did you tell your parents, I want to be a model? Or what?
Well, it's kind of not. It was kind of like whenever I was in any family photo and I took ballet, whenever I was in any ballet photo, it was like find the one that didn't match. And I was always like making this super crazy pose or had this super big smile on my face or like this like Zoolander like type, like Blue Steel type face or like all of that kind of stuff. And it was like just like I Spy, like which one doesn't match. So when we got signed with Kim Dawson, once I got scouted by the agents, it was kind of just like well, let's just see what happens. And it was kind of ever since then, I was just always photogenic and always like live in front of a camera and doing all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
okay. Now, are you currently in high school?
I am. I'm a senior in high school.
Are you involved with the theater program in school?
Yeah, I was for a while. I was my 2 years, I think, of high school, freshman, sophomore. So my first 2 years. And then I stopped going just because it got like really busy. It took up a lot of time, with like all the plays that go on. And then you have weeks of that. And I was still taking acting classes. So I wanted to make sure I was focusing on film instead because I knew that was more of like my niche to go for.
Oh, okay. Now, we talked about modeling a little bit. Here you are, and I said for who was
Yeah.
this, Magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now,
I would hope so. 11 years,
yeah, you said you started when you were, is that
6.
what you said?
Yeah.
6. Okay. What was your, do you remember what your first paid modeling job was?
My first paid?
You're probably too young to remember. You're probably too.
Probably JCPenney. JCPenney, I was, as soon as I was in like the kid modeling side, I just went straight to JCPenney. And it was like every week I had a JCPenney photo shoot, and it was just all the time, every other day was JCPenney. And it was really fun. And then I got out of size because I was too tall too soon. And I did American Girl when I was younger than that. So I was in American Girl catalogs and on like the really big sign in LA. And so that was cool. But yeah, a bunch of other stuff like that.
Now, do you remember what your first paid acting job? What was that?
Probably commercial. I did a bunch of Da Vinci. It's like this, like, I don't know, like clay, kind of like Play-Doh. I don't know, it's super fancy, whatever. But it was like I was young and I did like 3 different commercials for that brand, and that was probably like my first real paid commercial.
Commercials. Okay. Now I got to ask you about this picture. Here you are in this blue lipstick. I've never seen blue lipstick, so I wanted to ask you about this. Was this for some photo shoot?
It was a photo shoot. It was with a close friend of mine, Greg Daniels, and his wife, Tiffany. She's a fantastic makeup artist. And it was funny because I had like a yellow jacket on with this in another photo. And I thought I looked like Dory from Finding Nemo. In a really good way. In a really like, what's the word? Like extravagant, expensive way. But yeah.
Well, if blue lipstick ever comes into style, you're all set because you're rocking
ready.
You're all ready to go. All right, let's talk about this movie, A Christmas Present. Here you are with Candace, Cameron Bure, and Marc Blucas there. First of all, how tall are you, girl?
I'm 5'10". I've been 5'10".
I knew you had to be 5'10". I knew you had to be 5'10" or 5'11" because you're almost as tall as Marc in this picture, and he's over 6 feet.
Yeah, I know. That's the good part though, is because he's tall, so it worked. It wasn't like I was just the odd one out.
Yeah, but you're skyrocketing over Candace. Look at that.
Oh yeah, she would always talk about it. I would always like hip it or like kind of stand next to her, crouch a little bit. She was like, "No, don't do that. You're making me feel shorter than I am."
Now, did you know these two before filming began?
Not really. There's not really any easy way to say, yeah, I watched their stuff or anything, because I wasn't really ever I watched her and I saw her, and she was always in my friends' like shows. They would always watch her and see her, and and I was like, my mom used to watch different shows that Marc was in, but it wasn't like me sitting down and like they weren't my childhood. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of cool to see who they really were in person before I even knew that they were like huge stars, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So did you meet them like the first day on set or something when you met them in person?
Yeah, I think so. I think the first day of set is when I was first meeting everyone. So it was a little nerve-wracking because it was like the first day of filming. Like you get your script, you get in hair and makeup, and then Candace was just sitting next to me in hair and makeup. And I was like, I'm expected to act professional right now. But it was really cool. They were super sweet, super welcoming. Like there was so much good going on.
And my next question was, how was it like working with them?
It was awesome. Like everyone asks me now that I'm back, they're like, "Oh my gosh, how's Candace Cameron? Like I want to know, she's super sweet." And I'm like, "Yes, she's an angel. She is such a mom. Like if anything was wrong, if she thought we looked really tired or anything like that, she would make sure we were okay, get us food, get us water, make sure like the crew was treated, you know what I mean? Like she would always take care of everybody around her." So it was really cool to see like some really big star just acting like a person, you know what I mean? Because they both are, they're people, they're not fake or artificial or anything. So, but with both of them, with Marc, he's so funny. He's such a dad. He makes so many dad jokes. Character Eric in the movie just makes all the really bad dad jokes. But he's just like that in real life. He's the sweetest person ever. I love them both and I miss them.
Now, how did you get cast in this?
Well, it was kind of like every other audition. I got an audition from my agent saying, "Hey, it's a Christmas movie. Here you go, do the audition. And so I took the audition, did my best, and then, you just let it go with like all of the hundreds and thousands of auditions that I've done. You film it, you send it in, and then it's out of your control. You can't do anything about it once you're there. Mm-hmm. So if you hear back, and if you don't, you don't. Mm-hmm. And so we ended up hearing back, and it was my agent saying, hey, you got a call back. And I'm Catholic, and I'm in church, and we do this huge church carnival. It's so fun. It's like petting zoo, like rides, all this stuff. And my church puts it on. And it was that weekend that I got the call back. So I get this call back, and I worked the church carnival with my parents. And so we were kind of panicking a little bit because we didn't know where to film. It was going to be loud. There's this carnival. We're in this ticket room. So we ended up finding a blank wall, setting up my laptop on this, like the music stand, brought my ring light to the carnival. And then I did a Zoom call with Candace and the writer and the director, and it was crazy. And then a couple weeks later, we ended up hearing back from my agent. I just got home from school, and he asked me if I wanted to go to Oklahoma to film a movie with Candace Cameron. And of course I said yes. I wasn't like, no, sorry, I'll pass. Like, what? So
wow.
I said yes. And it was like 2 weeks later, I was in Oklahoma.
Wow, you must have freaked out when you got that call.
Yeah,
a
little bit. It was like a little nerve-wracking.
Wow. Here's a bunch of pictures from the movie. Tell me about who your character is and what this movie is about.
Yeah, so my character is a teenage girl. Her name's Becca Larson, and she's really distracted by her phone a lot of the time. She's kind of never present with her family. Present, Christmas present. I'm hilarious. But it's she's never really with her family. She's always on her phone, or she's physically with them, but not mentally or emotionally with them. You know what I mean? She's a little distracted by everything going on except the in the now kind of thing. And I think that has a lot to do with her parents, because her parents are like that too in the movie. Like Maggie, which is Candace, Maggie is really distracted by work, and she's trying to book all these houses because she's always working, and she's always trying to schedule like everybody's like classes and meetings and phone calls and stuff, and she gets super wrapped up. And then Marc is also trying to figure out everything. Eric in the movie is trying to figure out everything. He's distracted by work, always on his phone. I think that's where I got it from in the movie a little bit. And my brother, Caleb, his name is Caleb in real life. He is distracted by school. And I think he got that from his mom a little bit. He's always on his computer, always doing applications for college. And he's like in middle school or a freshman or something, and he's already trying to do college applications. And I'm on my phone, not really doing anything for my future except cheerleading. I'm just distracted by my phone and cheerleading all the time. And so throughout the movie, like we try to connect more. We try to become more of a family. It's successful. We become more of a family. We're more connected with everybody else. But I think it's funny because a lot of the lines that I had were exactly the way that I would say it as Claire. I would say half the things my character would say. She was super sarcastic, super deadpan, but also like really grounded, really empathetic towards others. You know what I mean? She wasn't super sassy or bratty or anything, but she's definitely my type of character.
So Candace and Marc are married in this, right? And you're playing their daughter. Is that what's going on here? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you said this was filmed in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
All right. Was there a certain scene they had the most fun shooting? Did one stand out?
Actually, it's in one of these pictures. It's the campfire scene where and it was actually that scene, which is hilarious that you have it pulled up. It's that scene specifically where he had we were all roasting marshmallows. It's freezing, and it's like super, super late. It's like 1 a.m. and we're all cold, and we're trying to get this scene down. And Caleb keeps lighting his marshmallows on fire. And it's like right when we're in the middle of trying to have a conversation in the movie, and his his marshmallow just goes on fire, and I just stare at him trying to stay in character, and it was just super funny. And then between takes, we would just laugh, make jokes. It felt like really wholesome type moment. You know what I mean? And that was my personal kind of favorites. Like not like the, oh my gosh, we're such a perfect family, but like when we're even off camera, it's like we are a very connected group. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It felt
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Whenever you film a movie, your set family kind of becomes your secondary family.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So were you just in this scene? Were you just roasting marshmallows, or were you making s'mores?
We were making s'mores, and we had spit buckets because we made a lot of
Okay.
s'mores.
I was just gonna ask you how many s'mores did you eat?
I restrained myself. I had, I think, 2. So that was good because I would like fake roast a marshmallow and then not really put it together and not really eat it. But at one point I caved and I had to have one, and it was worth it.
Do you remember how many takes it took to get this scene?
Oh gosh. I was 3 angles, so a couple for each angle, and it wasn't necessarily like we couldn't get the scene or it was taking too long. It was just like a lot of setup because we had this gorgeous set dressing. The props and the set dressing did an amazing job, and the lighting and all that stuff. It looked like a winter wonderland in this little like wooden box area, like boxed off in the backyard. It was gorgeous, but it was like we had to work with the angles, you know, because like 2 feet away was like this green patch of just farm because we were on like this barn house kind of type. Yeah. So it was just tricky to get around that type of like the technical stuff, but I would say a couple for each angle, but it wasn't too bad. We were by a fire, so we weren't freezing too much.
Yeah, because you filmed this, when you filmed this, in October? Was it last month? Something like that?
Yeah, it was last month. It was late September and early October.
Okay. So at least you weren't sweating. At least it wasn't the middle of the summer.
Well, we had a little bit of that too, but we had some hot days when we were in full bundled up clothes, but other than that, it was pretty nice.
And did they have fake snow?
They did. A lot of it.
They did.
It was everywhere.
Well, what is that made out of? You know?
Paper and water. It's just really crushed up
paper and water,
and like this like sticky solution of water and probably something else that they mix in it to make it stick to everything, but it's just paper and water.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And any snowball?
Dreams.
Any snowball fights in this movie?
We didn't have a specific snowball fight, but we were playing in the snow a little bit, and we were putting up inflatables in the snow. So there was a lot of action in the snow. There just wasn't any like against the snow type.
Yeah. Now from the trailer I've seen, this looks like a very dramatic movie. Is this a tearjerker?
I wouldn't say too much. I would say there's some really wholesome parts where it's like it's a little bit deeper than just we have a conflict, we fix the conflict, and then it's a happily ever after kind of situation. I think it is a little bit deeper because it's a married couple that goes through challenges, and then their kids also follow those challenges because they're all one family, you know. I'm going to go through it all together. And there are some things where Candace really, really shines with her amazing skills, obviously, where she has a moment to herself because she knows that she's in this challenging position, trying to be a great mom, but also trying to balance everything along with her brother and how his wife passed and all that kind of stuff. I think it does have a little bit of stuff that can like really get you in the heart, but I don't think it's like you're gonna be sobbing through the whole thing.
Okay, so people won't need a box of Kleenex by them while they're watching this.
There might be like one scene where you might dab a little.
Now, is there a Santa in this movie?
There is. We have a few, actually. We have at least
a few.
Two.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A couple, I should say.
Oh, okay.
But at least 2, maybe 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
They were both
Cool.
very nice.
I like to see Santa in the movie. I was going to ask you if the Santa was real or if he's like a mall Santa.
There was this one. There was this one in one of our scenes, and I swear he's gonna come down my chimney on December 25th. Like he's the real thing. He's the real thing. He's so cute. I love him so much. And yeah, that's it. He was just
That's
amazing.
funny.
He had the cute little rosy cheeks, and it was awesome.
That's funny. Now, this house.
Yeah.
Is this the house where your family lives? This house is huge.
No.
It's amazing. Was this?
It's beautiful.
When what?
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It wasn't the house that my family, the Larson family, lived in. It was the house that my uncle lived in with his daughter.
Okay.
So we went to visit them, and this is like where 90% of the movie's filmed.
I got you. Now, was this house located in Oklahoma somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Owasso, I think. Or Claremore. Okay. I think it was Claremore.
Oh, all right. Now, what about the interior shots? Were they filmed inside this house, or were they on sets, or what?
All shots, all interior shots were filmed in here, except the all shots of like the uncle's house, I should say, are filmed in here, except the campfire scene that was filmed in the backyard of this house.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, neat. Now, tell me who this is with the headphones. Is that the director?
That is our director. Her name is Leslie, and she is such an angel as well. She's amazing to work with, super, super sweet. She knows what she wants, and I love that. I aspire to be like that. But she's a mom, so, you know, that definitely comes out when she's on set. Again, making sure we're comfortable, making sure we have everything we need or that we understand everything. And it wasn't like I'm scared to ask a question. You know what I mean? I feel like there was definitely a little bit of fear for me personally of like, oh, I don't know if these people are going to like think I'm an immature or amateur if I ask questions. You know what I mean? On set, like, do they just expect me to know everything? But it wasn't like that at all. It was like I could ask as many questions as she wants, and like the more questions, the happier she would be, kind of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, is this the first big like film you've ever been in?
This is the first big movie I've ever been in. I've been in some short films here and there, but this is the actual like the movie that's this for me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's exciting.
Now, what about Leslie here? It is. What about Leslie here? Did she let you improvise, or did you have to follow the script?
Oh, we had a lot of we improvised a lot.
Did you?
It wasn't and it was all with her, okay. But it was just like maybe some like different chit chats that we would have. That was just while we were rolling. Like if we were all together as a family, we would just talk amongst ourselves, and then they would use it as like background kind of stuff if like we're supposed to be in the background of some things. But there was a lot of fun stuff where it was either we had no idea what to talk about and we were just like saying the most random things, or it was like we couldn't stop laughing. That is what was getting us in trouble because we could not keep it together.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Now tell me about this guy here. I assume he plays your brother?
Yeah, that's Caleb. He plays my brother.
Caleb. No, that's Caleb. That's his real name, right?
Caleb is his real name, yeah.
Okay. What's his character's name? Do you remember? I shouldn't have asked. Oh, that's all right. It's not important.
No, but now I need to know because why don't I know? Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing.
Come on, you only filmed this last month.
I know. I just said, when I first introduced him to you, I was talking and was like, yeah, that's Caleb. And then like I thought to myself, I was like, what's his character name?
Now I imagine you two met on the set?
Yeah, we met on the set. He's a super, super smart kid. Super funny. His name's Will. Oh my Lord.
Will in the movie. Okay, Will. Okay.
Sorry, Caleb. Okay. You watch this. Love you. But his name is Will in the movie. Sorry. He's in real life, he's a genius, I swear. Like he knows everything about everything. Super, super smart. And again, it's really funny because that is exactly who his character is. His character is insanely smart, knows everything, kind of uses that to his advantage a little bit. But he's super sweet. Yeah, he was fun to work with.
Neat. Now I've got pictures a bunch on here. I imagine some of these people are the supporting cast. Tell me who all these people are.
Okay, so we're just gonna go down the line because in the first photo to me, the first photo is the top left. So that's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom. Okay.
So, yeah, that's my mom on the top left. And that is the last in that little strip, which is where all of these photos, except the second one, all of these photos is in this little like strip center of like outdoor strip center. And it was like downtown Claymore with like a bunch of these little shops. It's where we shot our last scene of the whole thing until we were wrapped. At least me and Caleb and Kiila were wrapped, and we were just waiting for a scene to be set up, and we snapped a selfie. That second photo is Paul Fitzgerald, and I don't have to remember his character name because his character name is also Paul. So I apologize. But he's super sweet. He plays my uncle.
Right.
He's such a welcoming person. I loved working with him. He has such a great sense of humor. Super, super sweet guy. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what else to say just because it's all super positive and it's just going to keep looping because he's such a positive person. That next photo is with me, my brother, and my cousin. The girl who plays my cousin, her name's Kiila, and in the movie, her name's Ashley.
Okay.
So that's Ashley, and then the person next to Ashley and me is Roque, and he's the second AD. So he kind of, if I needed help with anything, especially like schooling or something on set, he would always be the person I would go to.
Right.
That second the first photo on the second line, her name is Nev. She would always just be there. She was a second AD assistant, so she was Roque's assistant, and she would always be there if I needed something, especially if we were in the trailer. She would always be there to help me find someone or be there for me or whatever I needed. And then that second photo on the second line, that is Elizabeth. She's PA, so she did a lot of social media, she ran around a lot, trying to get everywhere at once. So props to her. She's super, super sweet. We made a bunch of TikToks together. So she put a lot into those TikToks that we have pretty much posted all of them now, I think. And then that photo at the last one, that's Kiila and me, and then that is Candace's assistant.
Okay.
Okay.
So now the supporting actors, were they local actors that they hired?
No, I don't think. Background actress, like supporting.
The background. They were always local.
I see what you mean. I thought you meant like my sibling or Kiila or me.
Yeah. Like sometimes they'll hire local actors for the supporting cast.
Yeah. But like background, ensemble, whatever you want to call it, they were all local.
Yeah.
And Caleb is from New York. My brother's from New York. And Kiila is from Atlanta.
Now I have to ask, the headgear in this movie, the headgear game is strong. Here you are, like everyone's wearing antlers everywhere. What's going on here?
So the first photo is us surprising. That's a scene where we surprise my uncle and my cousin for Christmas. We're surprising them that we're going to spend Christmas with them. So that is a very postcard looking photo of us saying Merry Christmas. I love that photo. It was super great to see that on camera. And then that second photo is so chaotic. That makes me so happy. We had an escape room scene where we had to It was something that Maggie put on the calendar for us, scheduled for us. And it was like this little escape room, like Santa Christmas themed escape room. And then that was us finding this treasure or whatever to get us out. So.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Exciting moment.
Okay. Now, during this movie, filming this, there were a lot of extracurricular activities happening on set here. There was the Great American Christmas Dance-Off that was going on between Candace and Marc and Danica McKellar and Neil Bledsoe, Jen Lilly and Jesse Hutch, Andrea Barber and Dan Payne. Now, were you aware that all this was going on while you were filming?
That is such a good photo. I cannot get over that. We were aware of the competition, but I wasn't aware that between takes or whenever we had a moment when we went back to the trailers, this was happening. No one knew. And Candace had this huge thing. It was like she had it set in stone that she was going to get Marc on Instagram and TikTok and whatever social platform she could get him on because he just wouldn't do it if it wasn't for Candace, kind of thing. He's just not a huge social media person, so that was like her goal for the whole entire movie was to get him on social media. And so they ended up participating in this, and I think it turned out fantastic. And it brought us a lot of joy.
Oh my God. All the dances were amazing, but I think Marc and Candace definitely won with this Dirty Dance the Lift. I mean, that was incredible.
It was awesome.
When I saw that, my jaw dropped. When I was watching the video on Instagram, when I heard the Dirty Dancing music start playing, I thought, no way. No way. No way. He's going to lift her.
He's not going to do it. And then they did it. And I was like,
I know. And then they did it. Now, also, Candace just recently posted the picture on the right there. The cast, you guys did a reenactment scene of Home Alone.
We did do that. And that was one of the TikToks that we put together. Thanks to Elizabeth and all of their team and that kind of stuff and all of the social media groups. So they put that together and I just posted it on my TikTok and she posted it on hers and it's everywhere now. And it was great because I think it fits all of our characters really well. Like the first 5 times, like it goes, like the hat goes by, it like fit, like the voice like fits all of our character. And I just
it does. Yeah. You must have had a lot of fun on this set.
It was so much fun. It was a lot different than I expected in a very positive way. I wasn't ever I didn't ever expect anything bad. But it was a lot more, I think, welcoming to me than like being on some feature film, super dramatic, like dark, heavy kind of film. Does that make sense? This was a very welcoming family, like it just felt like I was leaving my family at home to coming to another on-set family, and it was just like a super nice transition, especially for a first movie of mine. It was really super cool.
I bet this was great to have as your first experience on a major set.
It was awesome.
Now how about in the future? Do you have any goal to write or direct, anything like that?
Personally, I like being behind the camera or in front of the camera specifically a little bit more than being behind the camera. Being behind the camera gives me a little bit of anxiety because I feel like I'm going to press the wrong button and delete all of the footage. So, but I think being in front of the camera is like something that I can definitely see myself doing more of. I've been doing it for this long, so I would love to be in a lot more than just, one thing, one and done kind of thing, never to be seen again. But I think I'm really excited for future traveling and especially like with modeling and with filming and stuff. And I would love to be on another Great American Family movie because I love working with everybody here. They're all amazing.
All right, got a couple more questions before I end here. These have nothing to do with acting. These are just personal questions about you. What's your favorite movie? You have a favorite movie?
Ooh, I have a lot. So I think my favorite like classic like film, not animated, but my favorite film is The Breakfast Club.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are both way before your time.
Yeah, I love those. I was raised on those. I grew up on those. So yeah, those are definitely like the top ones.
Wow, those are good choices. Those are
Thank
good
you.
choices. How about do you have a favorite TV show?
I don't watch a lot of TV shows.
No.
I don't really just sit, you know what I mean? I don't really just sit down and watch them. I'm watching this really old like 2000s TV show with my boyfriend right now called Smallville. And it's like the
Oh,
background of Superman.
that is like
Um,
my favorite show. No
really?
kidding. Yeah, Smallville.
So
That's my
awesome. But
all-time
yeah,
favorite show.
he sat me down and he was like, "You are watching this with me." And we're on like season 5, I think. So
Oh, season 6
that's
is
like
really good. Wait till you get to season
really
6.
that's like
Oh
the
yeah.
only show I've like literally sat down and like just watched all of it almost. There's a lot of
And if
seasons.
and if you notice when you're watching that show, there are a lot of future stars on that show.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
actors were on that show when they were younger. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was like every new season, I was like, I'm gonna look someone up because I think I've seen them before. And I look them up and they're in
Uh-huh.
like 12 different movies or like 6
Yeah.
different TV shows. And I'm like,
Yep.
that's crazy. But that's so
Yep.
funny. You know what I'm talking about because I feel like no one knows what that
Yes.
is. I was worried I was gonna
Oh
say it and
yeah.
everyone was looking at me weird, but
All right. So since we just had Thanksgiving leftovers, yes or no? Do you like them?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so easy. Just put it in the microwave and go.
That's right. That's right. What's your favorite food at the Thanksgiving meal?
Oh, my dad makes these bomb mashed potatoes. They're so good. I don't know. I wasn't really going else. I wasn't going anywhere else with that. But those are really really good. And then obviously the turkey is definitely like an all-star thing.
All
It's
right.
always
How about pumpkin pie or apple?
pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Okay. All right. Now, since today is Black Friday, do you shop on Black Friday?
I have never. And all my friends say they don't recommend it, so I don't think I'm going to be. Um, I think I would get a little bit too much anxiety from trying to shop on Black Friday.
It is a little stressful. It can be.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned your favorite movie. Do you have a
Mhm.
favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh. Yes, I do. To answer your question, it's definitely going between it's going between Elf and The Grinch with Will Ferrell.
Elf and the Grinch. Okay.
And Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell and Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I know there's a new Christmas movie with Will Ferrell. Yeah, with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, and I
Ryan
think
Reynolds.
it's going
Yeah.
to be fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it because they're so funny. But probably
Yeah.
The Grinch. I love Jim Carrey. He makes me happy.
Okay. Okay. Now, how about, are there any future projects you're allowed to talk about that you're working on?
I'm not really on any future project at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, the main thing that I'm trying to accomplish right now is graduating before I'm like leaping
Yeah.
into any
Mhm.
new territory of filming anything else again. Just because it was a little challenging trying to do all of being in person school, especially I'm not online school, I'm in person. So doing that while on set
Oh,
did give
yeah.
me a little bit of a challenge. So
Mhm.
I definitely want to graduate and just be done.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'll definitely like try my best
Yeah.
to get out there.
Well, that's great. Well, A Christmas Present airs this Sunday, November 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Great American Family. Claire, thank
Yep.
you so much for being here. It was so great talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Go watch it. I'm a little nervous because
Yeah,
big screen.
no, don't be nervous.
I'm
Don't be
excited.
nervous. What about, where can people find you on social media?
I have an Instagram, which is just my name. It's just Claire Capek. If you see it on the screen, then it's going to be on the screen. It's just my name, Claire Capek. No caps and no spaces. I'm also on TikTok. I think it's at freaking ginger. If you wanted to do that, maybe just do my Instagram.
Okay.
But my TikTok is on my Instagram as well, so you can go see it there.
Okay. All right. All right.
But yeah, my Instagram is my
no
main
Twitter.
thing.
You're not going to be live tweeting the movie or anything.
I'm not on Twitter, really.
Okay.
But
all right.
Instagram's my main thing. It's where all my modeling is. It's where I get booked and all that kind of stuff. So, Insta.
All right. So people can follow your career on Instagram.
Yeah.
Great. And I am at GAC Podcast and at Chad Maurice. Claire, thanks again for being here. You were great. And thank you for being here, chatters. And until next time, you keep the faith, keep smiling, keep your friends close, and keep your great American family closer.